Hi, my name is Dr. Rola, clinical psychologist, and today I want to talk about how to let go and forgive. This is a continuation of my first video on how to let go and forgive. The first video we covered working through difficult negative emotions that a person experiences when they've been harmed, injured, abused. Working through those negative emotions and also increasing those good feelings in order to be able to let go. This second video, I'm going to be talking about a very important aspect of forgiveness. And that is when you begin to develop positive feelings towards the person that injured you. And I'm going to explain a little bit more, but yes, positive feelings towards the person that injured you. Positive feelings in terms of being compassionate towards them. Positive feelings in terms of wishing them the best and having concern for their well-being. I'm going to talk about 3 ways in which you can do that. The first way is in the area of boundary setting. Boundary setting. That is when you separate yourself from the abuser and the abuse, or from the person who offended you. This means at this stage, you don't want the abuse to be continuing. You're going to do everything you can to make sure the abuser no longer has access to you in a way to harm you. And this is a time when you actually assert your feelings. You assert your right to feel bad and upset about what was done to you, and the abuser is not the one determining or dictating how you feel. You also assert your right to protect yourself and make sure that you feel safe and secure. And the person who is offending you is not the one who is dictating that either. You assert your right to decide how you want the relationship to continue from now on. You're taking control of how things go from now on, and the abuser is not the one who is taking control of you. You are separating yourself from that relationship in a way to validate yourself and strengthen you from within. The second way is when you begin to develop a new perspective, a new view of the person who offended you. If you have an alcoholic father, you begin to see the alcoholic father, your father, as a person who was addicted himself. Somebody that was weak and in so many ways powerless in their ability to stay away from the bottle. You begin to look at some of the issues that could have driven the person to do what they did to you. It doesn't mean that you're excusing what they did. You're not even minimizing it. But you're beginning to see how they are also victims in some ways because of what they did. And that perspective helps you to feel less of a victim in relationship with the person who offended you. You begin to put yourself in that person's shoes, so to speak, and begin to develop some empathy for them. And it's not the kind of empathy where you rescue them and take them away, or you want them to save them from their problems, but it's a kind of empathy that also makes you feel empowered, and it helps you to engage in these positive feelings towards that person, and you see them as somebody that needs help, not somebody that is in control of you. The third way is when you begin to flip the script, so to speak, away from the unhealthy relationship you had with the person that offended you. In this third way, you're changing and moving away from destructive patterns in relationships that looked like what you were in, relationships that mirror the unhealthiness of these relationships where you are harmed, and moving towards relationships that are wholesome, relationships where you are being protected, where your feelings are important, and where you are allowed to express your feelings as to what direction you want the relationship to be, where somebody is not taking undue advantage of you and they acknowledge your individuality. The most important thing is for you to be at peace with what has happened and to move past what has happened with all the support you can get and these ways that I've described to you today. So the first one is the boundary setting, separating from the abuser in your thoughts, in your decisions. The second one is developing this new view of the abuser as somebody that needs help themselves and feeling compassionate towards them without feeling the need to rescue them. And the third one is really taking time to develop yourself in the area of having relationships that are healthy and wholesome. Developing positive feelings towards a person who harmed you, abused you, offended you does not mean that you need to reconcile with that person. You need to make sure that you're only reconciling with them if it is healthy and safe for you to do so. Developing positive feeling for somebody that's harmed you is really humanizing that person and beginning to see that person as more vulnerable. Letting go and forgiving is definitely a process. I said that in the first video, and of course I'm saying it again. Give yourself some time, but I want you to be rest assured that this is worth exploring. You can develop positive feelings towards the person who harmed you without continuing in any unhealthy relationship patterns with them. If something I've said has been positive, please let me know. Leave a message, like my video, subscribe to my channel, and please let's keep this conversation going.